named Babs, and she was created 2 years ago, and we also used her last year. Babs is an amazingly well-behaved robot. Of course, she had to break today, so we spent some time in the afternoon fixing her also, but she seems to be working quite well now, so we get to see how she's going to perform next.
So what inspired you to start an all-family team?
Basically, my twin brother Jim had been working with the nerds in Sierra Vista, and he decided it would be fun to be able to work on a team where he actually got to build a robot instead of just helping students learn how to build a robot. And so he asked me if I'd join up, and I said, well, that sounds fun. I could design circuitry for something with no commercial potential. And his kids, of course, were also interested in doing it, and so it kind of went from there.
Wow, that's fantastic. Well, you guys are really a big inspiration within the Nurc community, especially seeing how engineering isn't just within one person in your family, but it's distributed among all of you. So why did you guys come up with the name Typewriter Repairman?
Well, my brother a long time ago bought the domain name selectric.org because it was available, and he had a pile of Selectric typewriters he got at a school auction. And so he has a lot of typewriters in his house, and we thought if we couldn't come up with a name, we'll just call ourselves the Typewriter Repairmen because it makes absolutely no sense. And so the name stuck.
Well, that's fantastic. Well, I thank you guys for coming out this night and setting a great example for all the levels of Nurc, Nurc Lite, and the AUV part of Nurc. So good luck, and I hope you have fun the rest.
All right, thanks. It's been wonderful.
Right. Back to you, Don.
Poolside now, and as you can see, it looks like the typewriter repairmen are getting set up out poolside, getting their monitors ready. Once again, this is going to be a demonstration by the typewriter repairman, and all these robots are tethered. They do have cameras on them. They provide their own lighting. You might be asking yourself, why are they running this competition at night in the dark? Well, the reason is down at the bottom of the ocean, the sunlight doesn't get there. So in order for us to simulate that, we're here once again at the Chandler Aquatic Center, where they allow us to use their diving pool. And down there, 16 feet down, we want to make sure it's dark to simulate the bottom of the ocean. So the competition starts after the sun goes down. Again, the teams have cameras. The way they control their robots are through joysticks, through PS3 controllers, different types of controllers, and all they can see is what the robot sees. They are allowed to have one person work the tether, but the person working the tether is not allowed to communicate with the drivers, or they ensue a penalty on their team. There's about 8 or 9 different functions that they want to complete on this evening's mission. For those of you who weren't here for the opening video, this is sort of a mission out of the X-Files. We've had a UFO go down, and it happened during a 4th of July celebration near Lake Okeechobee in Minnesota. And there was the whole community was out celebrating the 4th of July, watching the fireworks, and all of a sudden about 20 of their group just disappeared into thin air, and they don't know where they went. And now the FBI has come in, Scully and Mulder are coming in to try and figure out what's going on. They're interviewing all the townspeople, and they're missing not only 20 of their residents, they're missing 9 minutes of time. And any of you who ever watched the X-Files know alien abductions, 9 minutes of time goes missing. So one of their local inebriates was out fishing in the lake, and spacecraft into the lake. And he called the local sheriff, who in turn called the National Guard, which showed up, cordoned off the lake, and won't let anyone go near, won't let the sheriff go near, won't let anyone get near the lake. The reason being, the UFO has crashed. So Scully and Mulder call their friends who just happened to have a underwater tethered robotics, a robot, excuse me. And you might, I'm trying to get their names. We have the three sort of wise men, if you will. And so they're trying to get to the ROV, get to the lake, and find out and search for the UFO and the 20 people. They're missing. And the National Guard group is going to be there in about 30 minutes. So they need to get their mission done in 30 minutes. The mission that they need to accomplish is, first of all, they've got to locate the robot. Or excuse me, they have to locate the flying saucer. Then they need to determine how deep it is in the water. And as you all know, there's got to be a lot of energy to power that robot. They need to measure the temperature of the boiling energy cell. There's an energy cell that has become cracked and exposed inside this UFO. They need to try and broadcast the sound of the energy cell as it's boiling to the surface. They want to drop a homing device into the control panel. This is another one of the objectives, so that they'll be able to go back and find the UFO at another time. They want to release a payload section with the 20 missing humans in it. It will float to the surface once they release it. Now, this is where it gets a little weird. There's aliens down there. They're alive, 2 of them. They're going to try and recover the aliens. Unfortunately, 1 has passed away. But there's 3 aliens down there. And they need to try and recover those, and you get points for each one that you recover. Now, you need to signal Scully and Mulder and let them know that you've done these tasks and got them done. And you have a laser on your robot. And once you set off that laser, it starts a timer, and the National Guard starts coming. The National Guard doesn't want you to know there's a UFO in there. So they're sending out torpedoes to try and torpedo your ROV and to torpedo the flying saucer to destroy it. So once you send that signal up, you've only got about 5 minutes to get all your tasks done. Now, once you send that signal up, though, if you continue to do your tasks, you get twice as many points, because the National Guard folks are coming and they're going to start shooting torpedoes at you. They have 3 torpedoes. When they shoot all 3, they're done. If you can evade those, you can continue to work for your 30 minutes. You also have a torpedo mounted on your ROV that you can shoot at them. We're running a little bit behind out by the pool, so they're not quite ready to go yet. So the way you get points, once again, we'll go through, is if you locate the flying saucer. You identify the flying saucer and show it, you get 10 points. When you let the folks know what the depth of the flying saucer is, you get 5 points. If you accurately measure that depth within 10 centimeters, you get 10 points. If you get it within 5 centimeters, you get 20 points. You measure the temperature of the energy cell. If you identify the energy cell, you get 5 points. If you measure the temperature within 5 degrees C, you get 10. Within 2 degrees C, you get 20. If you broadcast the boiling energy cell to the surface, if you use a recording, so you go down, record it, come back up and play it, it's worth 10 points. But if your robot is able to broadcast it live, it's worth 20 points. The next task was to drop the homing device into the cup holder on the control panel. See, even UFOs have cup holders. If you drop that homing device in the cup holder, you get 5 points. Or, excuse me, if you drop that homing device anywhere in the flying saucer, it's worth 5 points. If you drop it into that cup, it's worth 20 points. If you're able, task number 6, to release the payload section with the 20 missing people, just locating it is worth 10 points. If you're able to release it so that it rises to the surface, you get 40 points. Again, we have 2 live aliens. If you point to their body, if you locate their bodies, that's worth 5 points each. If you retrieve their bodies, that's worth 20 points each. And then we have unfortunately, our alien that has passed away, and again, 5 points for locating and 20 points for retrieving them. Part number 8 is the signal to Scully and Mulder with the laser buoy. If you shine your laser under the water, anywhere under the water, you get 5 points. If you reflect it off the mirror so that it deflects up and lights the plastic sheet on the top of the pool, that is then worth 20 points. And the final task is task number 9, is avoiding the National Guard torpedoes. You get 5 points for avoiding each one of the torpedoes, and if you fire your torpedo at them and it crosses the orange line, you get 20 points. If you actually hit the National Guardsman, you get 30 points. So, boiling all that down, there's quite a few points available for the teams. For the mission, you're able to get 495 points. That's the maximum points available at the mission. But there's other things that the teams are graded on while they're here at the competition. We have a meet and greet and ice cream social where the students get to meet and greet each other as well as the sponsors and volunteers. That's worth a possible 50 points. The students then are given a technical report, a written technical report. That's worth 150 points. During the last 2 days, they've given an oral presentation to the judges. That is also worth 150 points. Teams have a website, and their website is judged, and a possible 80 points. And then each one of the teams has made a team intro video, and each one of those videos is worth 80 points. And we'll be showing those videos when we introduce the teams. The maximum grand total of points that are available in the competition are 1,005. It's my understanding the typewriter repairmen have run into a little glitch with their robot out there, and they're doing a little repair. So there'll be a couple more minutes before they get into the water. I believe there's a possibility we can run the mission video again and let those who didn't have an opportunity to see it, we'll let them see that right now.
This year's mission scenario is based on an X-Files theme and features a sunken UFO with aliens. The following are tasks that can be done in any order. The first task is to use or signal the homing beacon by shining a laser on this mirror and reflecting it onto the surface buoy above. You can also retrieve the aliens. Locate the opening of the UFO. Measure the depth of the depth indicator. Locate the payload release device. Release the missing 20 people so that they could float up through the opening in the UFO. Locate the operator controls. and the cup that the homing device can